I'm from the big city. I was born in New York, raised in DC, educated in Philadelphia, lived in Miami, lived in Bogota, Buenos Aires, a couple other places, and I have no street credibility with any of you. And this is a conference about small cities and big ideas for small cities. So what am I doing here? Well, I'm here to talk to you about a venture we're starting called OppSpace. This is the domain name that we'll have for it. And essentially, what we're trying to do is we're trying to help governments realize the hidden value of their assets through better data and technology. So let me say that one more time, let it sink in. We're helping governments realize the hidden value of their assets with better data and technology. And why are we doing this? Well, it's a problem that cuts across jurisdictions, states, counties, cities of any size, countries even. So let me talk to you about what that problem looks like and what the opportunity is. So it's no mystery or not really anything newly discovered that local governments are suffering right now. There are budget cuts. A couple cities in California have filed for bankruptcy. Cuts everywhere. And at the same time, they've got these idle resources that are really doing nothing. So let me step back for a second and let you read through a couple of these points. Kind of staggering. And it might look like I'm picking on Miami, but I'm not. I just happened to get my hands on a data set from there. Is anybody here from Miami? No? Okay, good. I will pick on them then. Anyway, the point being that this is a problem because oftentimes these numbers are in dispute. Nobody has good information on what's out there really, and nobody knows how much it's worth. So how can we decide what we're going to do with our assets, real property assets, land and buildings, things that have a lot of locked up value if we don't even know what's there? And this is what it looks like. This is Firehouse number 9 in Miami, downtown, a couple blocks from one of the wealthiest pockets in the world. So Key Biscayne, a few blocks away, average net worth a couple $1 million. Miami Beach, the richest sandbar in the world. It's shocking that this is in the US. And this is a piece of public property. You and I, all the residents in the city of Miami own it. This is not in transition. This has been sitting here for a couple months. And every day people walk by it, people honk by it. People have no idea what's going on here. And what are the costs? The costs are economic. We have to police this. We have to maintain it with our dollars. We have to prevent crime. There are social costs. Neighbors don't like gathering around this. We are suffering from diminished social capital. And also, there are political costs. People feel disconnected from their leaders, and they don't trust them. I mean, if I saw something like this in my neighborhood that was a part of my government, how could I have confidence that the government is running things cleanly and efficiently? So how do we turn this into this? So this is a few blocks away right here, a project called Wynwood Walls. It was actually an endeavor undertaken by a late developer named Tony Goldman, who is a placemaker, very much like Ed. He bought up a lot of these properties from the government, and he commissioned a bunch of the world's most famous muralists to get them to bring excitement to this neighborhood. Just a couple blocks down the street. The neighborhood now has a bunch of businesses. It attracts millions of tourists every year, especially during Art Basel season, which is a big arts festival in Miami. And it's just become an extremely effective way to change this type of building, a light and fast way. So what are we doing? What is OppSpace doing? What are we about? How do we make that happen? Well, right now, government data around their own assets, that's their real property and land, looks like this. It's in all different formats. It doesn't talk to each other. Nobody really, it's all housed in different silos and agencies, and the school district has a bunch of buildings and gyms, and the rec centers have their own information. The police departments have their own. Nobody's really talking to each other. All the data is not interoperable. Well, we're going to take that data and we're going to clean it up. And we're going to put it in one format so that it's interoperable so people can read it. And when that happens, good things happen. The data becomes actionable and readable. You can make analyses, and you can better understand what you hold, what you have, so that you can make better decisions with it. And then once you make those analyses, you can identify properties and put them on a marketplace and engage people like the Tony Goldmans and the Ed Walkers of the world, but also people like community organizations like DC Central Kitchen, who we heard from last night, that is looking for spaces, low cost, to provide important social services. And even individuals who want to start a new business. So a town has a entrepreneurship initiative. Well, put your money where your mouth is and show me that you have space you can give me when I have a good business idea. And here's what the interface will look like. So you, me, Tony Goldman, Ed Walker, we'll be able to go to a place like this and find available assets for lease or for any other purpose we might be able to propose. Alternative uses, new creative ideas on what to do with space. This is what we're trying to do. I mean, this is in Spain. This is what the train station looked like just a few minutes before. A very quick light intervention. I don't think I've ever seen somebody as excited to be in a train station before. And then it's a dance party. It also helps to have world-class electronic dance music artists and 40% unemployment among the youth to be able to do that during the day. But the cruel joke aside, things like this are really opening our minds on what we can do with publicly held property. So what now? We're moving to a pilot in Louisville, Kentucky, so we can work with them on identifying how to break down the barriers in their existing data systems. And then we're also going to be engaging a major U.S. city on how to help them identify more public spaces in their suite of assets to help their citizens, especially in underserved communities, find physical or places that would have potential for physical activity, so open gyms and things like that. The city has a very rigorous anti-obesity initiative. So we're trying to pair that policy with their existing resources and assets. And we just want to help governments do more with less. So that's it. That's what we're up to. It's a ambitious undertaking to try to get governments to open up their data, but it's going to happen. So, Stephanie.